What's going on with everybody? It is your boy Eric, aka Young God, coming to you live in the Green Dungeon, giving it to you real raw rugged. And I got somebody on the other line to let him introduce himself, man. Who we got here today?
Once again, back is the incredible Charles Hamilton, aka C. Hamilton, aka the talented Mr. Hamilton, aka Junior. Just having fun with life, living it to the fullest.
Hey man, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, got some exercise in, got my equipment up and running, so I should be doing some more music pretty soon.
That's good. That's good. Like we were just saying before we hopped on, um, what was that, like 2020, around when we did our interview, and yeah, that was a pretty good interview. A lot of people were pretty surprised. They're like, "Oh man, you found a ghost. Haven't heard from him in a minute. Like, how are you get in contact with him?" So I thought that was pretty cool. People like you have like a fan base, like a, how can I put it, like a cult fan base. Like
Right,
you have one of those fan bases where, like, I feel like if somebody's like an actual fan of you, they're a big fan. Like, you don't have like casual fans. Like you've built a fan
right.
base where people read your blog and people want the update to it. Now, how do you think? Like, what do you think about you gravitated that type of fan base? So not everybody has that type of fan base.
I was more personal with my Star Chasers. I love each and every one of them individually and as a collective. But I was more personal. I shared a lot of personal information because I found that when I felt my most alone, I realized I wasn't alone. So I would document all the things that were going through my mind and in my heart at my lowest point, and just to see if anybody out there would kind of reach out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you're gonna ask this, but I don't want to say I regret embodying Sonic as myself, but I realized that Sonic was a trigger point for depression for me because I was introduced to Sonic through trauma. So the things that may traumatize somebody, if you wear it as a badge of honor, it does come back and haunt you. But I see I've helped many lives, so I really don't regret it. But I would always take trauma and turn it into something for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like some form of entertainment. I might not be, Farnsworth Bentley entertaining, but I do entertain with my music and my stage show. How I am in real life is how I am in music. So my Star Chasers, they find relief in it. They find comedy. They find horror. They find love. It's like an overall experience. So being transparent with my fans, my Star Chasers really paid off. Now on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/the talented Mr. Hamilton, and my subscriber base is growing, so people are kind of getting used to me at a more public forum like YouTube, and I'm showing my face more. I can't say I'm less insecure, but I'm more transparent. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna find playlists where I talk about Chloe and Halle and Jay Dilla playlists and mixtapes where I do tributes to other people. Just transparency. You know what I'm saying? Like I got nothing to hide, so can we smoke together?
Well, before we get too deep into it, you kind of like covering the camera. I want people to see the face. I want people
Okay.
to see Charles. You know what I'm saying?
Now I'm rough this morning.
Hey man,
I'm rough this morning.
I haven't been to the barber
But
in about a month, so I mean, I feel you. I feel
it might not be the hands to sweat because like I look like a pork chop right
you, man. Hey, like you said, you working out. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
trying to get in shape. But listen to what you were just saying is interesting because you were talking about like just being open and being like vulnerable in your music. And I've listened to your music since probably, I don't know, 2009 or whatever, and it never really computed in my head until recently, or until I was studying for this interview again. I was like, bro, this nigga discography, like a lot of it is about love and women, and I found that very interesting because you were like one of the lyrical guys from that era when you first came out, and a lot of those people from that era that were quote unquote lyrical definitely kind of strayed away from that. Like, we ain't talking about girl, we talking about hip hop. Like I'm nice, I'm this and that. But although you did talk about how nice you were at producing and rapping, you talked a lot about women and love. And like I said, for an era where it wasn't cool to do that when you were lyrical, what do you think made you go that route?
Coming from getting no love romantically to being in love triangles, it was the most mind blowing thing to me. So just like with my star chasing, I was transparent with the women. I was like, look, I love what we got going on. There is somebody else in my life. I don't know how to break it off. What are we gonna do? You know, like every now and then, the song every now and then. Like I was definitely seeing one woman, and out of nowhere, another woman came in, and I'm like, it's just my luck. I don't want to break no hearts. I don't want to be a player, but I like both of them a lot. So, you know, luck changes for the geek. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually, the geek meets that pretty girl that likes the intelligent woman. So it's more so, you know, he gets the girl. You know what I mean?
So it was kind of just like something you weren't used to, and it was just kind of like you said, you were just sharing your thoughts at that time, or just about what was happening in your life. I'm assuming.
Correct.
Gotcha. So yeah, like I said, in a lot of those songs, I feel like I don't know, a lot of my favorite songs by you. You know what I'm saying? Even just because I feel like you do a lot of singing on those type of songs. So like a Scorpion or whatever, like that's a very good song to me. And the beat, and the way you harmonize and the singing. And last interview, I went to go back to rewatch it a little bit. We talked about you being able to find melodies and whatnot, and you kind of relating that back to playing instruments growing up and just being really interested into music. And I hear you bring up like Chloe and Haley. Are are you really interested into like R&B in general? So just I'm just saying just for like listening experiences, like is R&B one of your favorite genres?
Not modern R&B.
Mm.
With all due respect, modern R&B is it's missing the passion. You know what I'm saying? It's like come here, shorty, let me holla at you. I wrote this song. I'm fly. You can hop in this fly car. Do whatever. It's not even nasty songs anymore. Like songs ain't even nasty no more. It's just like I got this. Come be with me. You know, there's no passion behind it. Like Billy Paul, I think it was Billy Paul when he said, "Me and Mrs. Jones." He was so passionate about it that he might have missed the note, but you could tell he got a thing for this woman. There's no passion no more. Like even the girls singing, they just talk about how good their pussy is.
You know why? I've been saying this for years on why R&B is like not the way it used to be. I think it's two main reasons. I think it's one, people just can't sing anymore. So like R&B is about like soul and emotion, and if I don't, like you say, feel your passion, you're not singing to me. It's like what is it? It's so computerized and computer generated because like you said, even if you aren't the best technical singer, I could feel it in your voice and your, you know what I'm saying, the way you sing, the way you said, like he may miss a note, but it's like you could tell he got that passion. That's really lacking in the R&B. And two, I just want to say this quick one. The second reason is because I'm not good. Second reason um, is the lack of instrumentation because I feel like instruments really bring out another emotion. It evokes another type of emotion. So if you don't have any singing nor passion and there's no instrumentation, it's like where's the soul in the music?
Well, what would you consider Amy Winehouse?
Uh, Amy Winehouse, she did. I mean, like she did her own thing because like I will put because she did R&B. You know, like I said, Amy Winehouse definitely did her R&B thing. She did. I've heard her do like reggae type of songs. I would say similar to like a. I don't know if you ever heard of Hiatus Coyote, like a Napalm. She does R&B, but then she also does like some alternative type of stuff. I wouldn't confine them to just like one genre, but they definitely have R&B songs for sure.
I mean, Amy Winehouse she was a phenomenal singer, but she wasn't the best singer.
Yeah.
With all due respect, rest in peace. And Salam Remy, he destroyed it with the production. What I'm saying is, if everything comes together, if you got the right soul in the production, and the right soul with the singer, the right soul with the engineer, we can bring back R&B. I've been, put my name in the ring, like, yo, let me produce something. It's like, nah, Charles, not yet, not yet. It's like, I'm being held back for whatever person's comfort, and all I can say is, I don't see anybody that works as hard as me.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, and I got my solace. I might. One of my favorite songs I got 250 views on, and those are 250 hard-working views. No promotion from a label or online street team or anything. I worked hard for that. And one of the greatest albums of all time that I was listening to, I'm gonna share it in a minute. Only got like 24,000 views and it's been out since '91. I mean, granted, it hasn't been on YouTube since '91, but It's not that known of an album, but it's a perfect album. So, with that album being so close to me, and it not being as known and revered, and me being so close to my own music, and it's not being so publicly brought out, I can deal with that a little bit, because now I'm in the category of one of the greatest albums of all time, and that doesn't make that actually means a lot more to me than having billions of views on the video. Even though rumor has it I went gold and platinum off of gold off of the Black Box and platinum off of Hamilton Charles.
What album are you talking about? The 24,000 views.
Man, I'm a crate digger. I don't want to give it away, but I know as soon as you hear it, I don't know if you chop, but as soon as you hear it, you're gonna try to go stupid. But I'm gonna start working on the album that I made of this album today.
Okay.
But this album is so stupid, and it's like, it's classic.
What's the genre?
Classic. It's like progressive rock, prog rock.
Okay. I'm not a producer, so I wouldn't be able to chop it up. But after we're done with this, when we're off, definitely tell me off here, because I'm actually interested just to hear it just for a listening experience.
Too many people be picking up
my
samples and trying to flip it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is there like a voice? Because last time we did the interview, we talked a lot about Bobby Caldwell and how like Bobby Caldwell was like I interviewed Bobby Caldwell. It's like one of my favorite interviews because no idea why he let me interview him. Who is a voice outside of Bobby Caldwell that you think is just like made for sampling?
D'Angelo. And you gotta be nice to sample D'Angelo.
Why?
Because there's not much to pick for it. It's like sushi. You know what I'm saying? It's like little pieces that you gotta pick up and put it all together. I did it with the Voodoo album. It's called Earwax. But you gotta be nice to fuck with D'Angelo. I mean, D'Angelo, Stylistics, Curtis Mayfield. Like Curtis Mayfield is like my heroin bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get off my, not you, but like get off my dick about the heroin thing. But Curtis Mayfield is like when I'm down and out and I need somebody to talk to, I listen to Curtis Mayfield.
He's so speaking of all those people, there's a good documentary that I would suggest for anybody watching and you. It's called the year music changed in 1971, and it's on Apple TV. Great documentary, and it features all of these Curtis Mayfields and black artists, white artists, and just exposed to a lot of music I wasn't familiar with. And the year music changed in 1971. A lot of good finds on there. So if anybody's interested in that year, go for it.
I was about to ask. I forgot who I was about to ask you about. Damn, it just slipped my mind. I'm sorry.
Who was it? An artist?
Yeah.
Who, like from that era?
From the era, like, like, how do you feel about Motown?
Love it.
Yeah, like I have fun with Motown, like, listening to joints and having fun. You know what I mean? Like, fun isn't in music anymore. Nobody's having fun. They have fun after they make the music, but there's no fun in making music. Okay, so one of the points I was gonna bring up was on Awkward. I was trying to make the whole missing a note but feeling the vibe thing in the lyric form. So it's like, don't let me scare me, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, if not, you lose control. You too. I was like nervous. I never got into details about being in rehab or having a drug problem. But I did on a song to Rihanna. So I'm opening up to this beautiful female celebrity as if I'm on stage in front of everybody. So even the people who know me close didn't know this. And Rihanna's finding out at the same time everybody else is finding out on stage. So, there's a bit of bravery that comes in when it comes to making some of my songs. But as of late, I've been more on a teaching trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, as opposed to like Sun and MCs or Take Me Back Sharona, I'm like, this is how it goes. You know what I mean? Like, just breaking it all down. So I don't want to bore people, but It's more real talk than madness.
So another thing that came to my mind when I listened to your music, and you just kind of touched on it, just with like switching what you're rapping about. What would you say at the beginning of, like, when you first started rapping, you first started catching a buzz? What would you say was your end goal in music versus what's your end goal now in music?
Well, the end goal was to win a Grammy, and I ended up on the Grammy committee. So, I mean, I guess it's, winning for losing. But now my end goal is be like having I guess you say like a shack where I can make my music at my own comfort, my own pace. Just comfort. My end goal is comfort. You know what I'm saying? Not the disguise of comfort, not the illusion of comfort. Like literally, I wake up whenever I want to wake up, shower when I want to shower, get up, make my music, put it out when I want to put it out, be able to afford all of that. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up comfort. There's a few situations in my life that could provide for that, but it doesn't happen unless you do it yourself. And I'm finding with my music, it's best that I release it for free because of sample clearance issues. You know what I mean? I got this album, Hyper Goth, that I'm trying to promote. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, this ain't going to be on streaming for long because of the sample clearance. But it's a great album.
What's the idea behind Hypergod?
Curtis Mayfield said it best. Familiar music, familiar song. That's a hint.
Okay. Is there any ties to, I don't know if you've ever heard, like, there's like a new, I don't know, subgenre of music, whatever you want to call it, hyper pop? Have you heard hyper pop yet?
No. Like, I was thinking in terms of branching off of Pharrell when he wrote for me. He didn't write the verses for me, but when we wrote together, Hyperspeed, like it was like a conversation me and Pharrell had, and it turned into a vision that I had that turned into the album. But yeah, we spoke about moving at your own pace and being who you truly are, despite who you have to be. So, good conversation.
And just going through, like, going back to, I guess, the beginning of your career, like you were saying, you and like it's probably gonna be a very weird comparison, maybe not. You and Joe Budden, very similar type of, how can I put it? Because you guys are very vulnerable. Joe Budden had his YouTube show where he was documenting his life. You had your music. You made YouTube videos. Like, people have seen you guys on your highs, your lows, your intermediates. And one of the things, if you want to get into this, that people know about you is like your mental health, and where it's been at, where it's going, how it's going. Exactly, how has your mental health influenced your music, or at all, would you say?
Sticking with what I know became rebellion. Allowing the mental health system to work for me became the coolness. So a lot of my new music is cool. And like, if I stick to what I know, I might get killed.
What do you mean?
Like, I started a blog, ColumbineGang.blogspot.com, and I basically grouped together all of my favorite underground producers and made like a network where I support them, support their music, free, make songs over there, some beats and stuff, and it became like a collective. So now the other producers, they have a boost in self-esteem because they've been getting beat on for years for, make this beat and shut up. So now they have a support. They know they can come to me for support, whether it's direct communication or not. But it's a gang. So I've been outside screaming, Columbine gang. There could be a blood or a crip around. Like, what the fuck you talking about? Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't know if screaming Columbine anywhere is probably going to be the best decision. So I wouldn't suggest you do that again.
Word.
But no, yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off if you weren't done. But yeah, I thought that was interesting because you say now your music is cool. Is that would you say that's a direct reflection of where you're at with your mental health?
Yeah, like just like I'm loved, cherished. I was it was explained to me that I speak in metaphors, and I don't mean to do it. It's just that's how I naturally talk. But once it got broken down to me that could lead to confusion about one's mental health, then it's like, all right, let me not be not transparent. Let me just be clear. Like, look, this is how I talk. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking for trouble. When people say things to me, it triggers memories. So I got to work on that. So, you know, I'm actually a lot more fragile than I give myself the proper time away from people about. You know what I'm saying? I'm in front of people a lot. I stay to myself a lot. So it's just, I'm trying to balance myself out. And in balancing myself out, I find the right threshold to describe where I'm at in my music.
How do you find that balance in life?
Talk it out. You're not going to know what the problem is unless you say what the problem is. Sometimes the answer comes right to you. Sometimes it takes some meditation.
Has that been something that you've always had, or have you struggled with talking it out?
No, I never had a problem with talking shit out. It's just it being understood, and that's where talking in metaphors comes in.
That's interesting because there's just one interview. I don't know if we brought this up last time, but there's just one interview that you did, and me and my friends, we talk about this probably way too much because we still don't know what this means. And it goes back to you talking in metaphors. I forget who you were talking to, but you said that you watch Sonic on mute, and we were like, is that a metaphor? Was he literally watching Sonic on mute? And like you said, in your brain, when you say that, it's like, of course this is what I mean.
Like,
I didn't know. Like, we don't. But that's my point. You speaking, it's almost like somebody who's like somebody who's make, like, let's say like a filmmaker who makes very deep movies, and every time they make a movie you gotta pick apart each scene and each dialogue or whatever. But then there's one movie they make, it's just a fun movie, there's no deep meaning at all, it's just they're just having fun with it. But they're known for being this metaphorical person that even in this movie with no meaning, they're trying to pick together all of these little lines or whatever. So when you say certain stuff, somebody might be like, oh, this nigga being this. Like you say, I'm thirsty. And go, oh, he's thirsty. That means that he's thirsty for knowledge of the Sonic ring. And it's like, no, nigga just wants some water. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's probably that where people might get confused with you. I don't know if you agree with that or not, though.
No, it's often like that. But one thing I learned is you gotta abide by authority. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you come up. Like all these dudes talk about I'm a boss, but there's somebody they say yes man to. And it's hard to say somebody's self-made because you have a boss or somebody put you in position.
I'm a huge wrestling fan, so I look at hip hop sort of like I look at wrestling. It's just like, you know, a lot of these people, they, like you said, they say they're a boss, but they say yes sir, yes ma'am to somebody because they actually have a boss. It's like, I get it, you know, like there's a Vince McMahon everywhere somewhere, you know, I get it.
Exactly.
I get it, you know, and it's really about how you deal with that because I know you've had label issues, and that's something that's kind of hurt you throughout your career and helped you with being on a label. Would you say being on a label has helped you or hurt you more?
The experience helped as far as being in the boardroom, but socially, it kind of like, weren't you on Interscope? What happened? Niggas always asking me what happened to me. Like, nigga, I'm right in front of you. Like, I'm good. It's just not. Everything is not all that it seems. You know what I mean? Like, the hottest at the time. I've never shared this with nobody. At the time, 2009, the hottest top priority rapper or Interscope was neither me or Eminem. It was a guy named Hayes. And he had all the attention. Like, he was like kicking T.I. out of his session. Like, he had huge attention. You've never heard of him.
No. Never.
So I'm not bothered by this because like when Jimmy walks in, Everybody walks into the studio. Everybody run outside. Where's Jimmy? Where's Jimmy? Oh my God, hey Jimmy! And then run back inside. Jimmy walked in one time, and everybody ran out to say hi or whatever. Where's Charles Hamilton? Everybody ran back inside. So I come out. I didn't know Jimmy was there. Said, hey, what's going on? I said, yo, Jimmy, check out what I got going on. Like, I got some shit. I'll be in there in a minute. But Jimmy could see not only could I articulate myself in conversations in the boardroom, but I'm actually working. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't speak on other artists as far as them working. I only hear the finished product. But I was doing like African tribal dances to rap, and I don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, I'm going ham on this shit. Like, I don't. You had to be there to see it. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, I'm actually doing it. So like, I was feeling funny. Like, damn, like, I just reached a new level. Like, can I keep this new level? You know, like, Jimmy, can you see it? So he believed in me, but I wasn't bringing in any money. It's mad great music going out for free, sample based, so they don't have to pay for it. The only thing they were paying for was my rent. You know what I'm saying? But I worked hella hard because I didn't know how long that shit was gonna last. But as far as like the Republic deal, like they wanted the music that I made for myself, and I got that deal through management, and management won't let me talk to Republic without them. So management, you know, I worked with the in-house team for the management. Sorry about my phone.
No, you fine.
I worked with the in-house team for management for production, and I just wrote the best I could. I sang the best I could, and you know, Republic couldn't stand behind it.
Is the Republic deal? Is that the when you were on Empire?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was, you know, Rita Ora from London, Rock Nation. Like, there was a lot of, you know, press behind that song. It really goes to the attention span of the listener. If they were able to sit through a minute 30, actually 2 minutes of a black man typing and a young black man playing the piano, and they see Rita Ora, that buys time for the next minute. Then they see Rita Ora again, that buys time for the next minute. So my music by itself guarantees time being bought. But it wasn't being my music. I own my music. You know what I'm saying? Samples and everything. I own my music. So my management team signed me as an artist, not as the full package. So it's like, in one sense, like if I look at it, back to the mental health, like if I look at it as, you know, sticking with my guns, I had a one-up on them. But on the other side of it, nothing happened with the album. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm playing a piano on and rapping, doing my thing, but there's nothing coming of it. Like, there's, like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the song. Like, you know what I mean? It can't be like that. So, I gotta learn how to be more of a team player, I guess. Even though I played by the rules. Then I end up at this point when it comes to mental health, which is, I did the right thing. So why am I looked at as the wrong one? Then the stereotype fits in. Like, you're a young black man, you know, you don't look like you take care of yourself. You got all the signs of someone that has a mental health issue. Like, but in the last few conversations that we've had, I've proven to you not only my intelligence, but my awareness of what's going on. So it's been explained to me that the work is too high quality, as far as too good.
Yeah.
And then then the other side of it is I don't talk about. And then the other side of it is too good. Like, it doesn't talk about pimp shit, hoe shit, drugs, guns. Could be too good musically or too good socially. Like, he don't get into no trouble. I don't like this shit.
Like I said, tell me if I'm going too far or whatever. But you say that a lot of problems may come from, you know, like you thinking you're in the right and they're thinking you're in the wrong, and then their defense is, oh, this guy has a mental health issue or whatever. So people put that on you. Do you identify as somebody with mental health problems?
Well, all I can say is I'm a lot calmer on the medication.
But off it. Is there a noticeable difference between Charles on it and Charles off it?
I'm more manic. I make more music.
Do you think you make better music off it?
That's up to the listener.
But you though, personally.
I mean, I usually make so much music I can't sit back and listen to it.
Gotcha.
So I can't call it.
So, going back to something you said when you were talking about being an Interscope and Jimmy, I feel like going back to wrestling as well. Jimmy is like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some mysterious wrestler like freaking Boogeyman or something where you don't even know where this nigga is from. So like, how is your relationship with him? How is Jimmy Iovine? Because, like I said, you just hear stories about him.
I mean, Jimmy and I were very close. Like, that's my guy. But I think our bond, like the medication is kind of holding me back from what I have to say about Jimmy. So I kind of see that. I would rather die for Jimmy. Like, we had that kind of relationship. And people are like, well, why did he drop you then? It's like, if the hottest artist on the label is Hayes, and no one knows who Hayes is, and Eminem made one of his best albums, Relapse, and people are saying he needs to get off the drugs again, it's like, he pulling his hair out, he said, well, let the good one go. And like, I love Jimmy Iovine. Jimmy showed me a lot of things musically, creatively, personally. That Jimmy showed me a lot of things creatively and personally. Creatively, it's not all music that I employ into my music. So I'm always thankful for that. He's giving great advice. He said the song I did with Pharrell is a hit, but the song I made for myself is a classic. So which one? Unfortunately, he has to go with the hit. It's like as good as Sega Music is, the song. Who do music all day, Charles. As good as that song is, the chance that it's a hit over Hyperspeed is so slim that pushing Sega Music would look stupid. Now, it was about to be like a Mauritian anthem. Because there's an island called Mauritius, and the people are called the Mauritian Sega. So it was about to be a Mauritian anthem, but Hyperspeed would have been all over the blogs and on the radio and everything. So you change the world, or you live like a celebrity.
Have you seen him since you've left Interscope?
We spoke once in 2012, and it was the fastest, deepest conversation ever. I can't really get into detail about it. That's the thing, is like I can honestly say there's nothing below board. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a pure friendship, but it's like earth-shattering shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that man is a genius, and he's a beast. Like, he's like fucking literally, like, he's a beast. You're supposed to kill for that man. A lot of people have a problem with him because they can't get over how they feel about him before they even meet him. It's never really hate until you talk about a rapper who didn't get a budget for their album or couldn't get a proper advance. It's never really hate unless somebody's selfish.
Would you say that, so around that time, it sounds like Jimmy Iovine was a part of like a support system for you, so like somebody that would be like socially supportive of Charles. So from then to now, would you say that, of course, he's not around like he was in that capacity, but would you say that you have a support system around you that helps you just in life in general? So not even just speaking music, but just a support system to keep you there.
I think yes. The answer is yes. The problem is I need that support system for my music. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was listening to some shit I said, and I'm like, yo, can somebody help me, Lord? You know what I mean? Like, I can't get over, like, oh man, I can barely speak English. This is like, damn, I really said some shit. And I need people to kind of explain it, either explain it to them or to listen to it. It's like, it can't just be me that knows this. And if it's just me that knows this, give me the platform to share it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure there's some things that people have heard me say that may have sparked a question, but there's many things I've said that are so subtle they didn't get it.
Mm. What's something, if you are willing to share, that you hear, that you see, and you like, I just need the platform to talk about this. Like, what are these things that you don't know if other people see?
I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna blame the negative comments on you.
All right, go for it.
Extraterrestrials do exist,
Okay, I mean, I don't think that's like a controversial statement.
and they're being enslaved by the U.S. government.
All right, well, that's where we will get to the controversial part. All right, explain.
I can't because I'm on medication.
You can't say that and then not go. That's like that's like me saying, Jesus, he exists, and you like, okay, that's not controversial, but he my cousin, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, your cousin. Like, you gotta explain that one. I, to the best of your ability. Okay, hold on. Can I interpret what you said and you tell me how far I'm off? All right.
I mean, I said what I said.
So you don't even gotta say anything. Let me interpret what you said. You just listen to it.
Okay.
So extraterrestrials exist. I feel like a lot of people believe that there's aliens out there, whether they're here, other places, whatever. But they're being enslaved by the U.S. government. Are you saying that the government has direct knowledge of extraterrestrials and that they're on U.S. military bases or U.S. government bases working for them? Is like, are you going into like the lizard people bag?
No, there's a difference between reptilians and extraterrestrials.
Okay. Can you explain that one?
Reptilians are. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I end up saying names, so I'm gonna make a statement.
Okay.
As opposed to put it out there. Reptilians are of the world. Extraterrestrials are in the world. But extraterrestrials can't do too much. The extraterrestrials can live how they live under the gauze of cooperating with the government.
How do you think that the government gets in contact with these people that's not of the world, so the extraterrestrials?
Satellites and radio.
Do you think that they hit them up like, hey, bruh, like, come down? Or you think that they visit on their own?
I mean, it's a being. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's on a keyboard. Like, shit, I could play the keyboard right now. I think it's called a QB, where they detect motion that is not of this Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the Russian space station, U.S. space station. I think there's a UK space station. Am I correct?
Hey, but you know better than me. No idea.
I think there's a UK space station. But there's different space stations all over the Earth.
Yeah.
The design is of the Earth. It's like designed how it's supposed to be. Anything outside of that is alien.
You a big Bob Lazar guy?
No.
Really?
I haven't heard of him.
Oh, okay. Bob Lazar is like the guy that basically said that he worked for Area 51, and he was like one of the first people to come out and say like there's aliens like in like Area 51. There's alien crafts and stuff, and then they said like he never worked for them. He never went like basically wiped his existence off almost of Earth. Bob Lazar. I feel like a guy you would be into if you're into this type of stuff. Interesting guy.
I mean, the reason I don't want to jeopardize the safety of an extraterrestrial, and I want to spend more time with a reptilian.
So
you know what I'm saying? So
okay, so with the reptilian thing, my fault.
What I'm saying is, me stepping out and saying something could jeopardize their lives.
Gotcha.
That's the last thing I want to do.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to celebrate them because human beings are bored with human beings. And, the quest for knowledge and the thirst for knowledge, you don't know what you can learn from an alien. And an alien is still learning from human beings. But if that's happening, the slavery going on with aliens, that's only going to piss them off. So if they decide to rebel, who knows who gets what? If they decide to play it cool, who knows how unhappy they'll be? Do you want an unhappy alien arresting you?
No. No, I don't. I don't know if I want an alien. I, I, I don't want to piss the aliens off either. So if any alien watching this, no smoke for me. You know what I'm saying? I come in peace, and that's what aliens do. I come in peace, man. But not to spend too much time with this, but I do want to ask this before we get off here with the reptilian thing. Without saying any names, because I'm pretty sure you don't want to get in that bag. Do you think there's any like really famous reptilians that like we see
Absolutely.
all the time?
Absolutely.
Interesting. Are you a reptilian by any chance?
No.
Gotcha.
No, I am the sun.
Do you think you've ever met a reptilian?
Yes.
Like in the music industry?
Not in the music industry.
Gotcha. You do.
But he's in the industry.
Do you think that there's reptilians in the music industry?
Yes.
You think there's any reptilian rappers?
Yes.
Are they fire?
Yes.
Or do you think that they're fire because they're reptilian?
It's how they interpret human behavior as a reptilian.
I want to know one reptilian rapper. I just want to know one person you think. You don't gotta say it. You don't gotta say it. But I'm just very curious of who you think is a reptilian rapper. Interesting. Any new rappers? Are they like old rappers or?
Talking about the new rappers.
So they're the new rappers. That's the reptilians.
No. It's a legendary MC, legendary pop star. The male is a legendary MC. Female is a legendary pop star. A new legend.
So legendary MC, like, but how would that happen? Like, how do they become reptilian?
That's just what they are.
So they're born reptilian.
Hatched.
They are hatched. Oh, so this person was made like in a laboratory.
Well, I have my theory that says they're kind of nuclear based, like Godzilla. Like Godzilla and Swamp Thing.
It's probably one of the most interesting conversations I've ever had on this channel. It's very, very interesting stuff.
What's up?
Are you big into like conspiracies in general?
I kind of weigh conspiracies with what I know.
That's very interesting. I feel like I dibble and dabble in my conspiracy bag. But yeah, just going back to you in that support system, you saying that you need the support system within the music. So when you say that, do you mean you need just like more fans supporting you? Or exactly what did you mean by that?
I guess I need to analyze my music with people. Like sit with people and analyze my music. It's like I just went stupid. Like there's a time I'm recording in this house where I'm like, I'm fucking stupid. I got nobody to talk to about it. You know what I mean? So damn, I got nothing to say. And then I'm sitting here listening to 16 bars of death and like trying to analyze it on my own. It's not how it works. It's the practice of Yoruba. You ever heard of Yoruba?
I know Yoruba is. I know it's like a Nigerian thing. That's what you're saying? Or
Yoruba.
Yeah, Yoruba.
Yoruba.
Like the Nigerian, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yoruba?
Yoruba, yeah, Yoruba.
It's not Yoruba.
Nah, you make it sound like some Spanish niggas made it. The way you rolling your tongue, that is if I'm not mistaken, it's just Yoruba.
Okay, no.
Yoruba sound like Yoruba, but the way you said it sound like it's something like on a Dora Explorer map or something. I don't think it's pronounced like that. I think it's just Yoruba. But yeah, what about it?
That's what I can do.
Gotcha. Well, hey, I don't want to keep you for too long. I will leave off with this question right here. Is there anything, because like I said, we've seen your highs, we've seen your lows. Is there anything that you just really regret that you would take back, that you think that maybe today would have you in a better spot?
Everything that I would regret is based on somebody else. So, yeah, I can't take nothing back.
Gotcha. Well, hey, if there's any last words you guys say to the people out there, man, let it be known. Floor is yours.
IntoTheHamilton.blogspot.com, ColumbineGang.blogspot.com, CharlesHamilton.app, YouTube.com/TheTalentedMr. Hamilton. Check me out. Don't judge a book by its cover because I'm a bestseller.
Gotcha. Well, hey, for everybody watching right now, I appreciate you guys. Until next time, I say what I mean what I say. Haters gonna hate, and players gonna play. You guys holler at your boy.